Children Challenge, and we are in with the Bellini family again. And as you can see, their babies have become infants. We have Gavin and Giovanni. And of course, we are still continuing on with them. They are a lower class family, and we are going to be seeing what they are going to be getting up to in this episode. As we know, Ludovici, I believe is his name, but he had lost a bunch of money in the last episode, and so they are just continuing on. We are going to see how they fare. They obviously have work outside of the home. She is a scullery maid, and I believe that he works as, I want to say that I think he's a penniless page, but we're going to be working on getting them a garden set up here at this lot and getting her taking care of the children, obviously, and getting some cooking done and things like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and let her take care of the little ones. It looks like Giovanni here is kind of looking a little bit dirty and probably needs to be fed. So I'm just going to go ahead and have Mom get over here and take care of the little ones and make sure they're all taken care of. Everyone is kind of getting a little bit of rest right now because it is still pretty early in the morning, but they will be getting up soon. We obviously need to help them also to work on their skills. Because they are a lower class family, they will need to work on things like reading and things like that so that they can obviously progress. The parents are going to need to learn to read so that they can hopefully start to be able to teach their children skills and things like that. The goal is obviously for them to try to climb the social ladder. I don't necessarily know that they would be able to climb the social ladder high enough for them to be able to enter their children into like a marriage market or anything like that because they are such a lower class family. But we will just have to see kind of what happens with them. Now, there is the possibility that if they were to roll a random selection roll and they were to surprisingly come into money or something like that. Like our last family, the Vasari family, they were a lower class family and they had rolled to come into money, and then they were able to rise up in the social ranks, and then now they're facing going into the marriage market. That could potentially happen to this family as well, and if so, they would obviously be facing a completely different lifestyle, and so their whole life would completely change. I do want them working on skills and things like that just in the event that their position in life were to change. So I do want them working on logic and writing and reading and all of the things that they need to do in the event that they are ever faced with the potential fact that they could be raising their children up to possibly face the marriage market. Obviously, that is a while away. Their children are only infants. And so it's not like they are facing that anytime soon. Now, this family also needs to have a lot of children. I think they had rolled that they needed to have 3 more children, maybe 4 more children. So they will, in this episode, also be trying for a little one. So we will get them to go ahead and do some woohooing, trying for baby, whatever the case may be, and seeing if we can go ahead and get her pregnant, because we do want to go ahead and try to expand the family. And so that is something that we will also be seeing. But currently right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get her practicing some logic here so that we can gain up some skills for her. And I have her husband outside, and he is just working on some archery. And like I said, I will both getting both of them to practice some reading and things like that. But I do think I'm going to get him to come up here and just approach her and see if she wants to go ahead and just try for a little one. I think that he would come and ask her if she were ready to maybe give that another shot and see if she kind of was amicable in wanting to try for another baby. I know that they have the twins. They are still young, but I think that families of the lower class probably would have their children kind of close together, and they would have their children that would be growing up and helping them do things around the house, such as gardening and things like that. So they need help around the house and things of that nature. So he's just going to ask her how her day is going and if she is open to going ahead and trying for more children, and I think she would obviously tell him that she were. and they're going to go ahead and head on into the bedroom and give that a whirl. So we are just going to let them go ahead and try for that baby, and hopefully we will be successful in that. We won't be having her take any pregnancy tests or anything like that. I will just go ahead and we'll wait to find out if she is expecting just naturally. We'll just wait and see how that goes. Obviously, we can click on the toilet and see if she has a throw up option, and that will kind of give us an idea if she's expecting. But aside from that, we probably will not just take like a pregnancy test. Other than that, though, I am going to have him continue working on his archery. I do want that skill to kind of raise, and their garden is looking good. I'm going to have her come on down, and I'm going to have her work on some cooking and get some meals going for the family, because I do think that they're going to need some things to eat. I don't think they have anything in the fridge for leftovers, so I am just going to have her come on down and make a little bit of cheese, and we'll have her put that in the fridge for them, and that will be good for them to have. The children are currently just getting, well, Giovanni is awake, but it looks like our son is asleep currently, so we love that. So Dad's just going to work a little bit on his archery, and I'm just looking to see if I can get him working on a little bit of writing. But because he doesn't know how to read, it's saying that he can't write. So he will have to work on some reading first. So once they gain a little bit of the reading skill, then they should be able to learn the writing skill, but they're going to have to learn how to read before they can learn how to write, which, you know, that makes complete sense in my mind. So she is just working on making this cheese currently. Other than that, her needs are in pretty good shape. I'm just going to have her go ahead and pick up the servings of cheese, and then we'll put all of those in the fridge, and they will be ready for meals and things of that nature. She'll be able to use those servings of cheese to make other meals, and so that'll be a good thing for us to have, and I am loving that. So he has gone ahead and reached level 3 of archery skill, which is fantastic. And she is going to go ahead and just clean up around the house a little bit. Both of the infants are just getting a little bit of much needed rest. And I'm just going to have her go ahead and do a little bit of, well, I think I'm probably trying right now to see if I can get her to do a little bit of writing. And that's when I find out that she can't do any writing either, because she doesn't know how to read. And so I'll have to teach her how to read as well. So we will order the parchment paper for her to try to write, and then I will get her reading. So that will be fine. All right, so I'm just going to get her to work on a little bit of some etiquette, I think. So she will work on that. It didn't let me do the writing for her, but she can work on some of the etiquette skills. So we will have her do that. And she will learn how to, be able to do some of those things. I am then going to go ahead and get him to come upstairs and just take care of Gavin here. And hopefully they will, he'll take care of him. I think maybe he probably needs a diaper change. So we'll just get him to come up and take care of him a little bit. I am going to have them work on a little bit of tummy time and things like that. I would like for them to kind of work on a little bit of their skills. So we'll just do a little bit of tummy time. See if we can get him, lifting his head and things of that nature. So that will be really good for them to work on some of those things. We do not have a throw-up option on the toilet for her. So I guess that she probably is not pregnant, but that's perfectly fine. We will just continue trying for that little one for her. So he's just having a little bit of a conversation with Agnese, and they are just having a conversation about the child here, about Gavin, and they're wondering, if they're going to be able to teach him some of their milestones. Oh, they just dropped him right there on the floor. Like, good grief, poor child. All right, go ahead and do a little bit of tummy time with him if you can there, Ludovici, and maybe we can go ahead and we can get him learning some of his skills. It looks like we do have a little bit of garlic in Ludovici's inventory, so I will go ahead and maybe get him out here to do some planting. of that, and we will have that growing out here in the garden as well. I'll probably have Agnese come out and do some of, oh, maybe not. She wants to clean up. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say I'll have her come out and do that planting, but I'll just have Ludovici go out and do the planting. She seems to want to go up and do a little bit of logic, but I think I'm going to have her maybe do a little bit of dancing, and she can get a little bit of dancing skill in. I am just trying to make her a little bit well-rounded. I want her learning all the different skills that she needs to learn for the marriage market stuff. She doesn't necessarily need the marriage market skills, but I figure if she has those skills, she'll be able to maybe help assist her children with those skills as they get older, and that'll be really nice. So once she's done dancing, we'll probably get her doing maybe a little bit of cross-stitching unless she needs to help the kids. But I will go ahead and queue up for her to go ahead and do that. Ludovici's just going to go out and tend to the garden and make sure that he has some, getting that garlic planted there. And then I'm going to have him go ahead and do some practice on the writing as well. Again, they do both need to learn how to read here. And so they will be practicing learning how to read. And she's really feeling focused. I thought maybe she would probably get like happy from dancing, but it's making her feel really, really focused. And it would seem that she is maybe going to need to get an actual meal cooked. I know I had her make that cheese, but I'm probably going to have her go ahead and make an actual meal from the cheese. She can use the cheese that she made to make an actual meal for the family. And then they'll be able to have some leftovers that they can have in the fridge to eat as well. So it does look like Ludovici is starting to feel a little bit hungry. So it'll be nice if she makes a little bit of a meal for them. And then he'll be able to come in and grab a serving of that. So once he's done with this writing skill, he can water those plants that he planted, because he did plant that garlic, and then he'll be able to come on in and grab himself a little bit of a bite to eat here. So she has just finished that meal. I'll have her go ahead and call everyone to a serving. She just made a little bit of Yorkshire pudding there. Maybe she didn't have to use the cheese for that, but either way, she did go ahead and make those Yorkshire pudding, and she's just come out and she's like, "You're gonna go in and eat something, right?" And he's like, I will. And she's like, "Okay, because you know I've made supper and it's in there on the counter." And he's like, "Okay." She's like, "I'll get these plants. You go on in and grab yourself a plate of food." And he's like, "All right, great." So she's gonna go ahead and take over watering the garden, and then I'll get her cleaning up a little bit because her dish is here on the sidewalk. And we'll have her clean that up. And then I'm going to send her upstairs to check on the little ones. It has been a little while since they have checked in on anyone. And we'll make sure that the kids are okay. And then we'll just go ahead and have them put away these leftovers in the fridge so that they don't go off. So that will be wonderful. I do think that at some point soon he will have to be heading off into work. Probably after he gets a little bit of rest, he'll head into work. I don't think he works in the evening shift. So, but she's going to go ahead and head on upstairs and check on the little ones, it would seem, and just make sure that they're okay. So as you can see, Giovanni is just on the play mat. So she's just going to check on her and give her a little bit of a feed here. Make sure that she is doing all right and take care of her little girl. And then maybe we can get a little bit of tummy time with her as well. And Ludovici is just taking care of brushing his teeth and getting himself kind of ready for the evening, for bed and things like that. He's feeling super confident. He feels like he's gotten a lot done. He's practiced his archery for the day. He's, done some gardening, and he's gotten some writing in. And so he's feeling like he's been really accomplished. And, he even had a little bit of time with his wife where they tried for a little one. And so he's really feeling like overall they're doing really well. And, he hasn't had any mishaps so far in this episode where he's gone gambling and lost anything. They have made back some of their money that he had lost. Georgia. And so overall, they're doing okay. And so he's thinking, I think that they're on the right path. They're on the right track to kind of, making back what they had lost. And, even though they are poor and they struggle, he's like, I think that we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be able to make it. And it helps that, you know, he's got a good job, she's got a good job, they have 2 healthy, beautiful children, and, you know, they're trying for another child, and overall they just have a really happy family. So I am going to have them start to kind of wind down, maybe get the kids ready for bed and get themselves ready for bed as well. And then I will see you in the morning when everyone kind of wakes up. All right, Ludovici, why don't you go ahead and get yourself ready for bed as well. I know you're enjoying playing a little bit of chess here, but it would do you some good to maybe get yourself a little bit of rest. It is getting pretty late. So I will see you guys in the morning. So it is the next morning, and Agnese is just taking care of Giovanni here. I'm just going to have her go ahead and give her a little bit of a feed here, and then we'll have her check on Gavin. We're going to make sure that both of the infants are taken care of and they're in good shape. And obviously, you know, I don't think that they are expecting. She doesn't have the option of throw up on the toilet, so I do think that maybe they will try again today. We want them obviously to become with child, and so I think that they would probably continue trying until they were able to get pregnant. So she is just going to take care of the little ones, and then I think that once Ludovici gets up, she'll probably have a conversation with him about maybe trying again for another one, and they'll probably do that. She is going to need to make sure that she gets takes care of herself and her needs as well. I do think she actually goes into work today, so we will be seeing that happen. And so she does need to make sure that she takes care of herself in order for her needs to be in a good place for her to go off to work. So I will make sure that that happens. But I do want her to do a little bit of tummy time with Gavin here. She had done a little bit of tummy time, I think, with Giovanni. Why are you handing him off? She's like, look at your son. Is he not the just cutest thing you've ever seen? And Ludovici's like, he really is. And she's like, you know, I really think that we should probably have another one. And he's like, well, if that's what you want. And she's like, well, I really do want that. And he's like, okay, well, we can make time to do that. And she's like, I would really like that. So she's just going to do a little bit of tummy time with Gavin here. He's really not thrilled about it, but you know, that is what is happening. And we are going to go ahead, and I'm going to send Ludovici to go and just have himself a quick shower. I do think that Agnese needs to probably get herself a little bit of a shower as well. And we'll let everyone take care of some of their hygiene needs. And then I think maybe Agnese goes to work in an hour. Okay, that's perfect. So then she'll head off to work. And maybe they can try for a little one once she comes home from work. So while she's away at work, obviously it will be leaving Ludovici at home alone with the kids, so he'll be having to take care of them. So, I mean, I think that he would probably do okay with taking care of the kids. I know that's not generally something that the men do, is take care of the kids, but because she is a scullery maid and she does go over to the nobles' houses and she cleans the nobles' homes, you know, she takes part in trying to help bring money into their home. He realizes that he kind of has to step up and do his part. Gavin needs his diaper changed, so someone's gonna have to do that. So can you maybe change his diaper? And she's like, well, I kind of, you know, need to get everything ready for getting myself off to work. And I realize that, but like, he really desperately needs his diaper changed. So Ludovici is outside. He's just practicing a little bit of archery here. And Agnese is just cleaning up a little bit. Hopefully she will be able to get that diaper changed before she leaves for work. That would be nice if that could take place, but we'll just have to see. Because honestly, you know, she does have a work shift coming up pretty soon. If she does not change Gavin before she leaves, which it doesn't look like she's going to, she's off to work. Okay. We will go ahead and send Ludovici up and he can take care of Gavin. So let's go ahead and have him come up here and he can change Gavin's diaper because Gavin is in rough shape. He's so happy. Ludovici is just really loving his life. He's loving his children and he is really just in a happy place with his family. But come on up here and take care of your son. And then once you're done taking care of him, you can get yourself a little bit of a bite to eat. All right, so he's just going to come on up here and do what he needs to do to take care of his little one. Really? Okay. Sometimes the Sims and their priorities irritates the hell out of me, because he was like all the way up there with Gavin, and then he decided to come on down and eat. So he ignored Gavin to come down to eat some leftovers. So I guess he's going to eat first, and then he'll change Gavin. But eventually we will get Gavin changed, and okay, now he's going to go back up to Gavin. And he sat that food on top of the fridge. They're very confused. He's very confused. But eventually we'll get him fed, we'll get Gavin changed, and Ludovici will be all squared away here, which will be fantastic. So, right, so we are just getting this diaper changed, which is fantastic. And then we'll send Ludovici on downstairs to go ahead and get some food, because he never did eat that Yorkshire pudding that he grabbed out of the fridge. So we'll have to make sure that he takes care of his hunger needs. It does look like Giovanni is asleep, so she's not really going to need to be taken care of right now, because she's just getting a little bit of rest. But when she gets up, we'll have to make sure that she's taken care of as well. And she's probably going to need to be fed. She's probably going to need her diaper changed as well. So we'll make sure that that gets taken care of also. You know, at the rate that Ludovici is going, Agnese will be home by the time that takes place, because it looks like Ludovici does have work also. So he'll be heading off to work in about an hour here. So I am just going to queue up for him to come on up here and wake her up and see if we can get her changed, because Giovanni does need to get her diaper changed. So let's go ahead and change her and see if we can get her cleaned up a little bit, because she is feeling pretty grunge herself. And he will get her changed up and cleaned. Nope, he's not going to. I lied. It just canceled out that so that he could go to work. The Sims, aren't they grand? Alright, well, I guess he's going to head off to work, and we will just have to wait for Agnese to come on home, and when she comes home, she'll take care of her little girl. So let's go ahead and we'll send Ludovici off to work, and then when Agnes comes home, she can take care of Giovanni. Okay, so Agnese has come home. We are just going to have her go ahead and come up here and take care of Giovanni. Giovanni is green. She needs a diaper change, something fierce. So I'm going to have her come on upstairs and take care of Giovanni and give her a little bit of a diaper change. Truth be known, she probably could stand to be fed as well. And so we are going to get her to just come up and check on both of the kids and make sure they're doing okay. I realize that she also could probably stand to take care of maybe herself, because she was at work all day long, but she's going to have to take care of the kids first. So we'll get both of the children changed and fed, and then we'll see what needs that Agnese has, and then we'll take care of her needs. But first and foremost, the priority is obviously going to be the children. And then when Ludovici comes home from work, we'll go ahead and see about maybe getting them to try for another little one. And, you know, I think that they would want to go ahead and try again for another little one, since it is obviously the next day here. And time has clearly gotten away from them, because they've both had work shifts, and, you know, they haven't really had a chance to see each other today. So I think that they would want to spend some quality time with each other. So I am just going to have her come in here and wake up Gavin once she's done feeding Giovanni, and we'll let her take care of him as well. And it looks like Flora is giving us a call, and she's wanting to come over to visit, so we'll let her come around. As we know, Flora Vasari did climb the social ladder. Her family is now in the upper class, and so while it would be maybe a little strange that she would be associating with someone of the lower class, her and Agnese are friends, and they were friends because they were in a low class together when they became friends. And so they have a really close relationship before she kind of climbed the social ladder. So I don't think that she would just stop talking to Agnese just because she became of a higher class. I think they would still be friends. I think they would still talk on a regular basis. Do I think that they would maybe go out into society together and hang around in the same circles? Of course not. But do I think that Flora would come to her house and she would check on her and she would check on the kids? I do think that she would do that. And so that is pretty much what's happening. She's, you know, called and she's like, can I just come and check on you and the kids? I would love to see you guys. I just kind of want to come around for a visit. And of course, Agnese is going to tell her, yes, you can do that because it's her friend and she misses her. She misses seeing her. And she doesn't get to see her anymore like she used to because they're no longer neighbors. And she can't just pop over whenever she wants to because of the fact that they're in different social classes now. So, you know, her calling and saying that she wants to come around and visit, of course, Agnese is going to tell her, of course, you can come by because it gives her a chance to catch up on what Flora's up to, and also if there's any gossip, she's going to be able to get that from Flora because Flora, as we know, loves gossip. So I'm just going to have her come on down here when she's done dealing with the little one, and she's going to get herself a little bit of a bite to eat. She is feeling a little bit hungry. I do think also that there is spoiled food in the fridge, so I may have her kind of clean that up a little bit. And then maybe she can also come over and just have a little bit of a chat with Flora for a bit. And they can do a little bit of conversing and gossiping and catching up on old times. But right now she is just making sure she takes good care of little Gavin here. We're getting his diaper changed. And then we'll put him away in his crib there. So we are just going to have her come over, and once she puts Gavin down, she will come and she will have a little bit of a chat with Flora. And she's just going to ask Flora how she is and how she's been. You know, how have you, been since you moved into your new home, and how is your family? How have you guys been? Like, I know that it's such a big change, but, is everything going well? And Ludovici has returned home. It looks like he was promoted at work. So we love that for them. They're going to be making a little bit more money coming into the house. And so they are, gossiping a little bit. It looks like Agnese has threatened to blackmail Flora because she knows some secrets on her. It's not very nice of Agnese, but, I think that Agnese is just thinking to herself, if I could blackmail her a little bit, I could maybe come into a little bit of money. That might give us a chance to make some money. That's not very friendly of her, but she's thinking, she's up in an upper class family and they're wealthy, and I know secrets about her from when she was in a low class family, and I could blackmail her. And she's not really thinking that, that's not really a friendly thing to do. She's just thinking like, we are under hard times and she's not anymore, and I've got to do what I can for my family. So I'm going to go ahead and get her to make a little bit of food here because Agnese is feeling a little bit hungry, and we'll get Ludovici to kind of clean up some things here once he's done eating. I think he grabbed the last serving of that Yorkshire pudding there. So once he's done eating, we'll have him go ahead and clean up a little bit. So they're just going to clean up and cook and tend to some things around here. Flora has come around to visit, so I'm sure she'll come down and have a little bit of a chat with Ludovici as well. She's obviously not as close to Ludovici as she is to Agnese because, she was just closer to Agnese than she was him, mainly because Agnese is female and they were just friendly together. Obviously she knows Ludovici and she is an acquaintance with him. They're not by far, best friends or anything, but it won't stop her from just kind of getting a chat with him and seeing how he's doing and things like that. So she will come down and just chat with him a little bit. So I am going to have Agnese go ahead and get herself a little bit of a bite to eat here, and then I'm going to have Ludovici approach her and just tell her, let's go ahead and try for a little one, because obviously, it's time for them to go ahead and do that. He would want to spend a little bit of quality time with her. He hasn't really seen her much today, and so they are going to spend a little bit of time together. Maybe that's a little taboo with Flora around visiting, but that's what they're going to do nonetheless. So they are going to just head on upstairs, and they're going to have themselves a little bit of a woohoo. Looks like Flora has gone out and the nun has come over to the house, and so she's out there talking to the nun. But we're going to have them go in here and they're going to have a little bit of a woohoo in the shower, it looks like. And so we will see about them hopefully becoming pregnant. Fingers crossed. And then it looks like I'm going to need to take care of Giovanni here. So we will make sure that we come in here and we just maybe put her in her crib and get her ready for bed because it is starting to get a little bit late. So everyone's going to start getting themselves ready to go off to bed here. So I will have everyone getting ready for that. So she is just playing with Giovanni here, and then I am going to go ahead and send Ludovici off to bed. Once she's done playing with Giovanni, I'm going to have her go ahead and put Giovanni in her crib, and then we will go ahead and send Agnese off to bed as well. And everyone will get themselves a little bit of much needed rest. Actually, it looks like maybe she might want to give her a little bit of a bath. So let's go ahead and just give Giovanni a little bit of a bath, and then we'll tuck her into bed. Oh my god, that trash can is so disgusting. It's just overflowing. So we're just going to give her a little bit of a quick bubble bath, and then once Giovanni is clean, we'll have her go on up and tuck her into bed, and then everyone's going to turn in for the night, and then I will see you in the morning. She really seems to be enjoying this bath. She's like, okay, good night, sweetheart. I'll see you in the morning. Get a good sleep. Alright, so Agnese is just going to go to the washroom here, and then we are going to go ahead and tuck her on into bed so that she can get a little bit of sleep. Everyone is going to get some shut-eye, and then morning will come before we know it. So we did just get a notification that Queen Charlotte has gone into labor, so we are going to see that she has had a boy. Okay, we are going to roll the dice and see what we are going to name him. He is going to be named Augustus Harrington. So I am going to go ahead and put that on the timeline that we have had a little boy baby by the name of Augustus Harrington. And we are going to go ahead and just update everything on here that we need to update. And we will have to roll to find out if mom and baby can survive. Mom can't roll a 1, baby can't roll a 4, 8, 12, or 16. So let's go ahead and open up their dice, and we will roll for mom and baby to make sure that they can both survive this birth. So we will roll first for mom and see what Queen Charlotte gets. She gets a 10 and survives, and baby gets an 11 and survives. So both of them are going to survive the childbirth, which means that Augustus Harrington has survived. Queen Charlotte has survived the labor. And so I am going to go ahead and update Augustus Harrington on the family tree here. And we will put him where he belongs here on the family tree. And I love that for him. So we officially have ourselves an heir for that, which means that Queen Charlotte gets to remain being the queen, and no one is going to replace her as the queen. We now have an heir if he survives. Now, if he doesn't survive his age ups, then that obviously won't be the case. But as of right now, we have an heir. So as of right now, Queen Charlotte is remaining the queen. So let's go ahead and we will continue on, and we'll see how that goes. Right, so we are back in the game here, and as you can see, the nun has come over to visit. Ludovici was just, having a little bit of a chat with her. But he is going to go ahead and head on upstairs. We are actually going to head on over, and we're going to get ready to do our random selection roll and find out what it is in store for our family and what they are facing for this episode. So let's go ahead and get ready to open up that spreadsheet here, or that document, I guess I should say, and see what it is that this family is facing for their random selection. So as we know, we have between 1 to 5 things that we need to choose from for our random selection. So we are just going to open up our random number generator, and we're going to go from 1 to 5, and we are going to give that a generate. And we got selection 1, which is, I believe, financial. And on that, there are 9 selections. So if we generate from 1 to 9 and give that a generate, we got option number 3, which says gain an amount of money from the crown for estate updates, roll a d5. So we are going to go back to our generate, and we're going to generate from 1 to 5, and we're going to generate, and we're going to get a 3, which means we are going to get 150K from the crown. So our family is coming into 150K, which means that this family is going to jump up in class, which is kind of crazy because I kind of said they could potentially do that in the beginning of this episode, and now they have done that. So they are going to jump up in social class. They're going to be able to get new outfits. They're going to be able to purchase a new home. They have officially become an upper class family, and they are going to now need to basically get their children ready for the marriage market and prepare their family for being in a new social class. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to get them ready for that. And Ludovico and Agnese's life is going to drastically change, as well as obviously Gavin and Giovanni's. They are no longer going to be a lower class family. They are now going to be an upper class family that is going to be able to head towards a marriage market. Obviously, that is going to be a few years down the line since they are just infants. But let's go ahead and jump into Cass and give them some makeovers and get them ready for their new social class. Okay, so we are back in the game. We are just going to go ahead and have Ludovico go and have them move households now. And then I will see you when we get into their new home. All right, we have officially arrived at the new Bellini residence. This is their new family home now that they are part of the upper class. And we are just going to go ahead and have them grab a child each and take them inside. And they will be starting their life here in this new family home. They will have access to a butler in this home, and they're going to need to work on gaining their skills and getting themselves and their children ready for the marriage market, which is going to be really, really exciting. Okay, Ludovico, come over here and get Giovanni. So as you can see, she is just going to go ahead and put her son in his bed here. And Ludovico is just bringing in Giovanni, which is fantastic. I am going to have them obviously continue trying for a little one until she is expecting. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live in the future. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Bridgesimton challenge, where we will be with our next family in the rotation and seeing what happens for them. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.